Look at the camera. 3, 2, 1.
Hi friends, welcome to Veranda Excel. Today in this live webinar, we are going to discuss about three things. First, the entire course structure of CA. Second, what are the subjects that you will face in CA Foundation? And third, we'll look at the tips and tricks that you need to crack your CA Foundation level. So, to start with, I want to give you a small introduction about myself so that you and I can connect well. I am CA Deepak Kumar. I work as a CA advisor in Veranda Excel. So right now let's jump into the topic. First we'll see what is the course structure of CA. There are two ways you can enter the CA course. First being the normal route, second being the direct entry route. First we'll look into the normal route. So how you can enter the normal route? You can register for normal route after clearing your 10th class. Once you clear your 10th class, you can only register. Mind it, you can't give your exams. Only after you appear for your 12th exams, you can appear for your CA Foundation level. Now, CA Foundation has 4 subjects to begin with. The subjects, what are they? We'll look at it subsequently. Once you clear all the 4 subjects, the passing criteria of which is very different from that you would have seen in schools. Once you clear all the 4 subjects, you can get yourself registered for CA Intermediate. CA Intermediate has 8 subjects divided into 2 groups. Group 1, 4 subjects. Group 2, 4 subjects. Once you have completed either of the groups, you have to go for a 4-week course on information technology and orientation. Now, what exactly it is, let me explain you as to why the same came into existence. Information technology, the reason being that our world is now moving towards information technology. Everything from a kid to an old man is very relevant with the technology, the mobiles, phones, everything. So our institute wants to be at par with the world. That's why they introduced the information technology course. Here they will teach you about Excel, Microsoft Word, Tally and other softwares which will help you as a chartered accountant. Next is the orientation course. Orientation course, believe me, it's gonna be amazing for you people. Like, I enjoyed my orientation course thoroughly. You will meet loads of new friends. You will actually come out of your shell. You will be able to display your idea to the larger crowd. Now, this is the actual motive of why orientation course was introduced. We chartered accountants have a knowledge, we have loads of knowledge, but as to how to put it out there is what will be taught in the orientation course. And believe me, it's gonna be really fun, really fun. Once you complete these 4-week courses, you have to join your articleship. Now, what exactly is articleship? Articleship is nothing but you have to get registered under a CA and you have to work under him for a period of 3 years. Now there you will get to learn a lot of practical aspects. You would have studied a lot in your foundation and your intermediate, but how to apply the same you will learn in articleship. So articleship is not exactly an employment, it's more of a training. But the advantage is, even though you are getting trained, you will be paid for it. The stipend for articleship will range anywhere from 3,000 to 25,000, and it depends upon you. One more fun fact about CA is it's a zero investment course. Yes, you heard me right. It's a zero investment course. Whatever you spend for your foundation, inter as well as final you will get it in the 3 years of articleship. So net, if you see, if you spend like 3 to 4 lakhs during this 4-year period, that everything you will recover it in your articleship. So that's for, why not go for it. After you complete both the groups of intermediate, remember both the groups of intermediate, you can register for CA final, the last hurdle between you and the membership number. Now CA final, before giving CA final, that is, there's a lot of thing ICAI expects from a CA final student. Reason being, they want quality chartered accountants out there. So for that, in the recent years, they introduced practical training assessment tests. What are those basically? Let me give you a gist as to why this came into existence in the first place. See, what basically happens is you have to register yourself for articleship. Now, students in the past, what they used to do was they used to get registered under their uncles or some known chartered accountants. Peacefully, they used to sit for 3 years, and then what they used to do was give the final exams. So then there are two levels of chartered accountants in the market. First being those who have actually worked for 3 years and given their exams. Second, those who haven't worked, they have just given exams. So there are two levels. Now ICAI is really particular about the quality of chartered accountants that come out. That's why, to avoid this, they came up with practical training assessment test. The first level you should give after your first year of articleship, and then there's level 2 which you should give after your second year of articleship. Now what they generally ask is, they'll give you a situation and they will tell you as to how you would have solved had you been an auditor. Those kind of questions, those are kind of practically oriented questions is what they will ask you. So that's why people, if never ever think about getting into a dummy articleship, okay, because you are missing out on the fun and the practical experience and all the amazing things that you experience in those 3 years of articleship. You are done with the practical training assessment test. Then again 4 weeks course on advanced information technology and management and communication skills. Now advanced information technology, what you have basically learned in your intermediate, after your intermediate, that is, that they will develop on. They'll teach you higher grades of software. Let's say Excel, they'll teach you advanced Excel in it so that you can excel in your career. And then there is management and communication skills course. I told you, right, orientation was fun. Well, this is going to be double the fun. Do it into 2. It's going to be amazing. You will come out of your shell even more. You will explore the world and you're going to have fun. I mean, there is learning, but it's with fun. That's the whole concept of this management and communication skills course. After you have completed, after you are done having fun, that is when ICAI will be like, come, give your final exams. So in the last 6 months of articleship, you will be eligible to give your final exams. And once you are done with your final exams, once that last 6 months you are done with articleship, you have completed your 3 years, you have cleared both the groups in CA final, that is the day you become an esteemed member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It's a great feeling, guys. It's literally a great feeling. Now, coming back, there might be some situation wherein a student in particular wants to be like, what, I want to enjoy my college life, because see, college is also important, as in if you want to have 3 years of fun, because that is the time when students actually see the entire world, they get that freedom in their hand and they want to explore the world. So they want to be like, no, boss, 3 years I want to enjoy. After that, I want to get into CA. So at that point of time also, ICAI is be like, it's okay, you can come to us. So for that, they introduced the direct entry route. Now let's see how to get into the direct entry route. First, there's commerce graduates. So any commerce graduate or postgraduate in commerce who scores 55% or above can be eligible to enter CA course. Second, let's say I'm not a commerce graduate. I want to change my career path. What to do? Well, ICAI is like, it's okay. You come to us. We will see to it. And any other graduate that is let's say science or arts, or in postgraduate in science or arts, he just has to score 5% extra. That is, he gets 60%. You please come become a CA. This is how ICAI thinks. Other than that also, let's say you haven't joined your classes, as in you haven't joined college, all you have done is you have gone through Institute or of Cost Accountants of India or Institute of Company Secretaries of India. So if you have passed the intermediate level of Institute of Cost Accountants of India or Institute of Company Secretaries of India, to give a small brief about it, cost accounts is concerned with costing. Basically, you cost a product as to how much material is consumed, what should be the cost of the product. That is what cost accountant is concerned about. And company secretaries deal with the loss that is applicable to a company in a larger extent. So they are the specialists in those fields. So if you pass the intermediate course of Institute of Cost Accountants of India or Institute of Company Secretaries of India, you are eligible to get into CA. Now, how you get into CA? Let's have a glance at that. You can register for intermediate, but before you write your exams, there's a particular thing which you have to do. First, you have to do the 4-week course on information technology and orientation course. What was previously given for intermediate students is the same thing here. You have to do that. Then, before giving your intermediate, you have to join articleship. Join the articleship. After you complete 9 months of articleship, only and only then the institute will allow that, boss, now you can go and write your CA intermediate exam. That is the only time when, that is the only condition where the ICAI will allow you to write the intermediate course. So you have to do 9 months of articleship before you appear for CA intermediate course. Once you are done with both the groups of CA intermediate course, you can register for final. So after this, it's the same thing. You can register for final, and then there is practical training assessment test level 1. There is practical training assessment test level 2. And then there is again advanced information technology and MCS or management and communication skills. In the last 6 months, you give your final exam and then you complete your articleship, and yet again you become a chartered accountant. That is an esteemed member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Now, before we move further, I want to take this opportunity to, if you have any doubts, please throw it. And by the time we are collating doubts, let me tell you a small incident. This is my personal incident to have a proper connect here and to show you how amazing this course is. I want to tell you a small incident. This is about my CA final result. I still remember I was in office, and that day was result day, and it was a budget day all the more. So I was literally trembling, and then I got a call from my friend, and he's like, results came, and he told that, and I got really scared. I started shivering. I went up to my sir and I told, sir, see, I can't stay here. I want to go home. That is what I told. I was like, I can't do it. I have to go home. Only there I can check my results. I called my sister up immediately. Come home. I don't want to check my results. You are gonna check it. I rushed home. I started getting immense number of calls from people who wanted to know my results. Generally, people won't call, but the day your results come is the day you will get loads of calls. That day they'll remember that, okay, I exist. So after that, what happened was, I was doing this thing. So I went to the office, I went to my home, and then what happened was, I was all scared. My sister came, I gave her my login details, and I went inside my room. I covered my head with the pillow, and I was just waiting. I was just coming out with reasons. If I fail, what can I tell? So after that, my sister shouted from outside, come out, CA Deepak Kumar. And believe me, I shouted at the top of my voice. And how much I scored? I scored around 55% or something. I passed. Passing itself is a very big deal in chartered accountancy course. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what are the gaps and how you can overcome it. But you clear chartered accountancy course. It was an amazing experience. So I want you people to experience the same. Now, since I've told that small story, I hope we connect better. Now let's go on to the next segment about CA Foundation in particular. Now there are 4 papers in CA Foundation. First, it's principles and practice of accounting. That is everyone's favorite, accounts. That what are the subjects, what are the chapters rather exactly in each and every subject, that will come down, we'll see it once. Then that's business law and business correspondence and reporting. Business law is basically, they give you a gist, it's not very elaborate, I will say. They give a small portion of laws which you can use for a transaction, which are used in a company and so on like that. They give you a small brief about it. So this, as and when you go down the level, it will get more, you will get more conceptual clarity on these laws. But in the foundation, since it's a new subject for a person, they give an introduction about it and they give you the details about each laws. Then there's business correspondence and reporting. This is mainly concerned with English. Let me put it in simple terms, it's English. They will tell you about, how to do how to write formal letters, how to write formal mails, how to present yourself. And because a chartered accountant, he will deal with a person who's an individual, and he will deal with a person like the board of directors of Reliance. So that is the bandwidth of a chartered accountant. So they need to present themselves everywhere they need to present themselves appropriately in those appropriate situations. So that's where this comes into picture. Third is business mathematics, logical reasoning and statistics. Now maths is not my favorite subject, and I think maths doesn't like me as well. But here it's basically, it will be more related to your 12th standard maths, but it won't be exactly the same. Reason being, there will be very deep concepts which will be tested over here. Again, coming to the chapters, we'll see as we go down. Then there is business economics and business and commercial knowledge. Business economics and business and commercial knowledge is basically giving you a micro and a macro view of the entire businesses, and this gives you a gist of how the business operates. To bring to your notice, I would like to tell, paper 3 and 4 are MCQ papers of 1 mark each. That should be noted. So maths, one good thing is that it's MCQ based. So okay, something is better. Then coming on to the next topic, let's see about the passing criteria of a CA foundation student. Now this says there are two criteria that a student should clear for him to become a CA foundation qualified personnel. First, he should have scored a minimum of 40 marks in each paper. I will repeat it again. He should score a minimum of 40 marks in each paper, and then he should score a minimum of 50 marks in all papers, as in the aggregate. Let's say my marks, 4 papers, 400, and I should get 200 out of it to clear my CA foundation exams. So 40% in each paper, 50% on totality. Now let's understand this with an example. Let's say I have student A. Okay, he has scored 65 in paper 1. Okay, he has scored 50 in paper 2. He has scored 40 in paper 3 and he has scored 50 in paper 4. So what will be his total? His total will be 205 marks. Okay, so now let's look at the individual subject wise. He has scored 65, 50, 40 and 50. That means he has cleared that 40% threshold. Next, let's see the total marks. He has scored 205. That is, now he has cleared the 50% threshold. That's why student A has cleared his CA foundation exams. Now let's see that student B. Student B is a person who studies well. So he has scored 65 again in paper 1, 60 in paper 2, 55 in paper 3, but unfortunately due to some reasons he has scored 39 in paper 4. So what will be his total? His total will be 219. Now he has cleared the 50% criteria. He has scored more than 200. So he has scored 219. So he has cleared the 50% criteria. But unfortunately in paper 4, he hasn't cleared 40% criteria. So student B did not make it through CA foundation, that is. Next, let's take an example of student C. Student C was like, he planned it properly. He was like, I just want to clear. So what he planned his studies accordingly. What he did, paper 1 he got 40 marks, paper 2 he got 45 marks, paper 3 again he got 45 marks, paper 4 he got 50 marks. So what will be his total? His total will be 180 marks. Now if you see, student C has cleared the 40% threshold in all the subjects. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3 and paper 4. He has cleared in all the subjects, but unfortunately his 50% threshold does not happen, and that's why he could not clear his CA foundation exams. So this is how ICAI has planned its marking scheme, and this is how they test you, and because they want quality people out there, that's why they have 2 criteria over here. Next, one point to note over here is there's negative marking in MCQs. Sir, what do you mean by negative marking? Negative marking says that in MCQ paper, for every one wrong answer, ICAI will penalize you by 0.25 marks. I give one wrong answer, ICAI will deduct. It won't give marks, is a different thing. It will deduct 0.25 marks. So let's say a student who has given paper 3. He wrote 44 questions. Okay, 40 of them were right. So what will be his marks? 40. But 4 questions were wrong. So now 0.25 questions per 0.25 marks per question will result in a deduction of 1 mark. So what will be his total? Which will stop him from clearing his CA foundation exam. You see the trick here? You know, from our childhood we have heard that, you know, even if you don't know anything, just go and write, just you know, write anything, you'll get grace marks. But that tactic should not be followed for paper 3 and 4. That should not be followed. If you don't know, it's better to leave, but you should not give a wrong answer. So this again will be discussed in the tips and tricks portion. And obviously every exam is for 3 hours and each paper is for 100 marks. So now let's get on to the syllabus of CA foundation. Why are we looking at the syllabus per se? What the thing is, whenever you go to a restaurant, they give you the menu card. So they tell you that, okay, this is what you will be served. So this is what ICAI is gonna serve you. This is what they will serve it to your brain, and your brain has to take it up. Okay, so we'll go through the syllabus. But before that, I am looking that there's a doubt. If a person gets above 60 marks, does he get an exemption in foundation? No, unfortunately he does not. He only gets in the exemption limit of 60 marks plus is only applicable for intermediate and final. Reason being, these are very vast in themselves, and there are 8 subjects. So a person can't give 8 subjects again and again. So they introduced this 60% thing only in intermediate and final. Let's get on to the subjects. And there is, before that, again I see another doubt. Is maths compulsory for CA? Yes, maths will never leave you. It has never left me. Even I thought the same, and it will never leave you. Foundation, you need maths, like you know, whatever you learn, that's a subject. But in the practical sense also, there will be this analysis that you have to do, for which maths is a must. So maths will never leave you. Maths is your buddy, BFF, if they say, best friend forever. Make it like that. There's no other option. Okay. So now let's finally get into the chapters of the CA foundation course. Let's start with paper 1, principles and practice of accounting. So these are the chapters. You have 10 chapters, starting with theoretical framework, accounting process, BRS, inventories. it goes on and it ends with company accounts. Now you might be thinking, sir, all this I've already studied in my 10th and 11th and 12th. Why should I study this again? But sir, listen, in your 11th and 12th, you just learned this is this. But in CA course, you will learn why is this. They will tell you in depth. See, behind every concept, there's a logic. Just like that, a person was not sitting and he was like, okay, I have nothing to do. Let's make a concept. That didn't happen. Something happened, and because of that, that particular concept came into existence. So, that's what they will teach you here. Why this concept came into existence. This will be embedded in your mind and you will never forget it. This is how it is, and all the more, what you studied in 11th and 12th was basic. Here, although the chapters are same, they will have in-depth, they will have multiple case scenarios, like if this happened, what would have happened, if this happened, what would have happened. You know, they will have X, Y, Z, a lot of things. So that in-depth knowledge you will get when you join CA Foundation and when you study it through. Only then you will realize how different it is from your 11th and 12th syllabus. So that covers all about max. Second is paper 2, business laws and business correspondence and reporting. Now this paper is broken up in two parts, paper 2A and the remaining is paper 2B. Now like I told you, it talks about a couple of acts. So it talks about Indian Contract Act, the Sale of Goods Act, Partnership Act, LLP or Limited Liable Partnership Act, and Companies Act. So, and then there is paper 2B, which talks about communication, sentence types, article writing, report writing, resume writing, meetings and stuff like that. This is English and this is relating to law. So this subject will be pretty new for you. Third is my favorite, business mathematics, logical reasoning and statistics. So you will have all these chapters, in particular the chapters which I personally like. Is first blood relations. See, ICAI is very considerate for its students, okay. What they think is, see, our students should not only benefit professionally, they should benefit personally also. So they introduce this blood relations chapter. Why? Haven't you heard your mom or dad or relative telling, my uncles, aunts, cousins, sister's son? Who is he? I don't know. So this is why this blood relations chapter came over here. And then there is seating arrangement. Here you will see as to how you can arrange yourself in a particular seating position so that you can sit near your crush. I mean, that's a joke, obviously. Don't take it seriously. Everything is important here. So this will be the case. You will have around 18 chapters in mathematics. Then in paper 4, business economics and business and commercial knowledge. This is divided into two parts again. Paper 4A, paper 4B. Again, this gives a micro and a macro view about the business, the environment in which a business operates, how will the environment of a country or globally affect the business. All that interconnections you will understand over here. So in effect, if you see, there are 6 subjects which ICAI has given for you to do. They have told, okay, 4 subjects, you do it. But that is not the case, sir. There are 6 subjects. To recall, paper 1, 2A, 2B, paper 3, paper 4A, and then paper 4B, 6. So there are 6 subjects which you have to study. So that will be the case. This is what ICAI will serve you. This is what ICAI will give you. This is a small meal. After that comes intermediate, which is a bigger meal. And final is a Maharaja Thali that you will have to take up. Now, let's get on what your paper will look like as to when you write your exams. Now, that is necessary from an aspect as to, you might be like, sir, what is the whole point of me seeing the paper? Let me tell you, friends, you will tend to make mistakes when you are in the exam pressure. And if there's any mistake that happens while filling these details, then your results will be withheld or you won't be given. So you should have a brief idea as to what exactly your paper will contain rather. This is the answer booklet for your non-MCQ papers. So you write the roll number over here, and these dots you see, you have to fill it with a pencil. So you have to fill it with a pencil, a good quality pencil that is, because this will be scanned. If you don't fill this properly, gone. Then you have to put your roll number in words. Then your invigilator will sign here, and then you will sign here. So after you sign here again and again and again and again, your sign will be called as the sign of a chartered accountant. Okay, you have to put your examination details here, group number will not be relevant for you. Then there is subject here, and then this is the number of answer booklets used. That is the main book, the main thing which you use, and any additional sheets which you can take. You can take as many additional sheets as you need. That is not an issue. One more thing you should keep in mind is whichever question you answer, just give a tick. Like 1 AI answer, 3 AI answer, like that, just give a tick, so that you know the invigilator, even if you give an additional sheet, worst come worst scenario, God is not with you, your paper gets missing, now they will realize, okay, this is the things that the guy has answered, so we are missing out, and they will add it up and they will try to find out and they will solve the issue. Okay, and this will be your mark section, and then the total. That is not something you have to fill up, that is something the examiner will fill it up. Okay, these are the general instructions which you can go through. Just to make a note, this file will be shared to you and the link will be given in the description. So once this file is done, this live webinar is done, you can download the file from the description given below. Then this is the OMR sheet. This will be more relevant for you for paper 3 and 4. Look at here, you have your roll number here, you have to input your roll number. Use only black ballpoint pen to write into boxes. This is something you should note. And then you have to fill these dots. That is your roll number. Let's say your roll number is 2146. So it should be 2. You should fill up 2 and you should fill up 1. Use only and only and only and only and only pencil. Please keep that in mind. Some people do the mistake of filling it with pen, and the OMR machine basically is not able to recognize that. So it will be a very big issue. Don't do that mistake. Fill it with pencil. This area you can fill it with pen. Okay, and then this is the answer sheets. So you have, like we told, 100 questions. So you have to fill this up as well. So you have to fill your answer according to the solutions that you get, A, B, C, D. Fill it up with a pencil. So even for your reference, if you forget it later on, they have given how you should fill it up. This is the wrong method and this is the right method. Okay, so this will be those things, and signature of the candidate again. And then this is the official work which we are not related with. Next, so any doubts up until this, please go ahead and ask. And it will be, there's one doubt which came. In case of negative marking, if we do not answer the question, is it still considered for negative marking? No, only if you give the wrong answer. Let me stress on it, wrong answer, that is you attend and then the answer is wrong, only then 0.25 marks will be deducted. If you leave it, they will not touch your question at all and they'll be like, okay, they'll leave it. Should a student take foundation route or direct entry route? See, that basically depends upon you. Whether you want to enjoy your college life and take the direct entry route, or you want to directly get into foundation. I went directly, and there I have friends who have gone through the direct entry route. It's totally a personal choice. There's nothing that you have to worry about. Anyway, your aim is to become a CA. How you become, it's your wish, be it the normal route or the direct entry route. One more person has asked this, so 6 exams. No ma'am or sir, there's no 6 exams. You have only 4 exams. You have to go for only 4 days, and the A and B portion, they will mention it in the paper and accordingly you have to answer. Okay. Then there's another question which has been asked. In maths, do they give working sheet? Yes, they will. Either they will give a working sheet or they will give some extra space in the question paper only, wherein you have to write. You can work out the solutions, because it's impossible, because you saw 18 chapters, you just can't work it in your mind. It's practically impossible. So that will not happen. One more thing, it is a must to fill the link. Okay, yes, it is a must. Only if you fill your details, we will be able to give you or send you the PDF file which has been shown over here. Okay, now if we move on to the next portion, the best portion, tips and tricks to clear your CA foundation examination. There was a wise man who once told, learn from others' mistakes, because a human won't live long enough to commit all the mistakes that are there and then learn from it. So these tips and tricks which I am going to show you are made after learning from many people's mistake. So this is what we are going to see now. Tips and tricks. Make a timetable for studying. That is very necessary. There are 6 subjects, and we as a student, see, even I have been a student at one point of time. I understand that a student is lethargic. We always like, tomorrow we'll do, tomorrow we'll do, tomorrow we'll do, and then the tomorrow never comes and exam comes. So that being the issue, it's always best make a timetable for studying and study accordingly. Then study 1 or 2 paper at a time. That is very necessary. At one point of time, only do one is suggested, max 2 papers. If you go about doing all the 4 papers at one shot, you will get confused. You will be like, okay, Indian Contract Act came in paper 4, and then theoretical frameworks came in paper 3. This is what the situation will be. You won't be able to bifurcate, and you will end up confused in the examination hall. And you won't be even that strong with the concepts per se, because let's say you are doing accounts. What will be accounts? Okay, this is the thing which you have to follow, and that flow will be maintained. But if you take different things up at different intervals, it will be really confusing. So at a time, take a paper to complete it and then go for the next paper. Next, minimum 3 times revision is a must. Believe me, it's a must. It's not because the course is hard. It's because the course is vast. So only if you revise again and again and again and again will you be able to retain it when you go give your exam. So 3 times revision is a must. Practiced mock test papers, revision test papers and previous year papers. Mock test paper, basically what ICAI does is they release a mock test paper, they conduct mock tests on their own. So they release the mock test paper, take it up, practice it. Revision test papers are basically before the mock test, to give you another mock test, they release a revision test paper. These papers are actually really complicated. They have the latest amendments in them. They will show you how an amendment is incorporated in the sum, and there are chances that you will get questions from this. So it's actually necessary. And then previous year papers. Previous year papers is because you will get a sense of how the examiner asks the question. So you will develop it accordingly, you will prepare it accordingly, and then you will be able to crack your exams in the best possible manner. Practice makes you perfect. I think this everyone would have heard in their entire life. Practice is really necessary. Without practice, you can't do anything. Okay, I will just, look at the questions. I'll just do, this answer is right, this answer is right, and I'll go for the examination. That will not, and let me stress on it, will not help you. You need to sit down and practice, especially for maths and law. Law being, this is a very new subject for you. You have to practice it, and you have to have the writing practice. Because how law, if I may give you a brief overview of how questions are asked is, they'll ask you a case. So how you have to answer is, you have to provide a provision. You have to provide an explanation for the provision. You have to link that explanation with the provision, and you have to link the question which was given with the provision, and then you have to give a conclusion. How will you do that? Only and only when you practice. Next, obtain guidance from mentor. That is very necessary. You see, a mentor has seen a lot of students commit mistakes. In fact, a mentor also would have committed some mistakes. So they will give you the proper guidance. They will give you the most appropriate guidance that you need. Okay, and then MCQs, like I told previously, do not I can't stress on it more. Above this, I can't stress on it. Do not answer it if you are not sure. To avoid negative marking, you should not answer it. And then determination is more important than intelligence. This is the mantra to clear this course. Believe me, I am an average student. I didn't score any rank or something during my school days, but I was determined that I will complete this course, and I did. I have seen so many people who are very intelligent, very intelligent, but they could not make it. Why? What is the reason? This course doesn't test your intelligence, it tests your determination. If you are determined to the extent that whatever happens, be it, A goes to B, whatever, X, Y, Z, whatever happens, my goal is to get CA before my name, you will. And mark my words, if you don't, you can find me and you can kill me if you want to, but mark my words, you will become a CA. I have seen that happening. It happened with me. So out of that experience, I am telling you. Now you see, we have given you the tips and tricks. But here is the thing, we just don't give you the tips and tricks. We tell you how to apply those tips and tricks. And that is where Veranda Excel comes into play. Now, make a timetable for studying. We make and we give you. We make and we give you the timetable, and we ensure that you adhere to that timetable. Only if you adhere to that timetable will you be able to achieve your goal. So we make that timetable. Second, study 1 or 2 papers at a time. Our course is designed in such a way that at a time you can do maximum 2 papers. In case you want to, you are in urgency to complete. Let's say you have 1 or 2 months left for examination and you want to complete all the papers. Only then, after obtaining special permission, will you get the course that you can complete in 1 or 2 months. Next, minimum 3 revisions. Sir, how can we achieve that, sir? Don't worry. That's why we are here, right? What we basically do is, once the lectures for 1 chapter is done, we conduct a chapter test. 1 revision done. Once 1/3 of your portion is done, we conduct a midterm test. Your second revision is done. Once your entire course is completed, we conduct a mock test. Third revision is done. And then you go and give your exam. Before that, you will study. That counts for 4 revisions. We want to go above the normal limit. We see if one person can do 3 revisions, why not let's target 4 revisions. So we target for 4 revisions in a way. 3 times we will make you revise. 4th time you will anyways revise on your own, because it will be very easy for you. Once you see something for 3 times, 4th time you see the question and you'll be like, this answer I know. Yeah, this answer I know. This answer also I know. You just need to see the question to find the answer. You need not even compute. This is how comprehensive the training will be. 4th, practice mock test, revision test and previous year papers. We give that. It is included in our learning plan to ensure that whatever sources, whatever questions that have been released by ICAI till date is given to you, so that you can practice it out, so that you can be comfortable with the design, the way the institute asks question, and clearing CA is a cakewalk. Practice makes a man perfect, or LUs, or rather learning units, are really comprehensive, and we as we told you, we ensure we give 3 tests, and then there is also some practice questions which are given for you, so that will help you in practicing a lot and you can crack it. Obtain guidance from mentors. See, for that we have student advisors. What will a student advisor do? They will guide you. See, in this course, what generally happens is, what I have experienced, what I have seen others experience is, motivation lacks. Like I told you, this course doesn't test your intelligence. It tests your determination. And determination goes down over time. So your motivation lacks. How to get motivated? That's why we have mentors for you. They will guide you, they will tell you, they will motivate you, they will tell you this is how you should do it, this is how you should do it, and they'll make your CA journey as easy as, I don't know which is the easiest course journey. Let's say BCom journey, it will be that easy. You know, I still remember my exam days. I used to be like very tired. I'll open up my laptop, watch some OTT series. At that point of time, my mom used to come out there in my room and she used to tell, do this, yeah, watch it, and then when the results come, then you will sit and cry near me. That enraged me. I was like, gone. I don't want to entertain myself. I used to shut down my laptop. I used to be like, I'll study, and I will be like, I'll prove it. And I'm really thankful for that gesture by my mom. It's the reason why I'm here standing in front of you, showing you about the CA course. Now, not everyone in this, in this world we live in, some live in hostel, so they don't have access to the parents. They don't get that motivation that is required. So some parents are working, so they can't give motivation per se. So at that point of time, we have mentors. They are like your study moms. They will help you a lot. They will help you clear your doubts and they will motivate you, which is a really important factor. And determination is more important than intelligence. I think that gets covered with the mentor point. So now, before we near the end, I would ask people to ask any doubts which you have so that I can address them. Foundation route or direct entry route, which is effective? We suggest that if you want to clear your CA in a very young age, you can go for foundation route. It will save 3 years. After that, you have your entire life to enjoy. And you can go to college for correspondence, and like to sum up, there's IGNO, which gives a 1-year BCom course, which even I opted for. Then there is one more thing which came up recently, that CA is recognized as a postgraduate in India now, which is a very big thing and it's amazing. So it depends upon you. See, it's an individual choice. If you ask for my personal preference, I would tell go through the foundation route. You can get it done easily. Then you have your entire life to enjoy. Enjoyment is, your parents tell basically, complete 10th, life is set. Complete 12th, life is set. But it's actually never set. But I can quote one thing. You complete CA, your life will actually be set. That much I can assure you, because this is something which I am experiencing, and out of my experience I am telling you. Next, whether BCom is mandatory for CA students. Not necessarily, it is not mandatory. You can do it. Why BCom will be required, if I may interject here, is if you want to do any international courses like CA of US, basically CPA, or you want to go ahead and do MBA, in those cases BCom is necessary. But as a chartered accountant, if you are in that field only, okay, I become a CA, I'll become an auditor, I'll become a consultant, and I'll do that and that alone, at that point of time you need not do BCom. Only and only if you want to do further studies, and in particular further studies which are outside India, at that point of time BCom will be necessary. So that you look into it. Then what is the next question? What is the salary per month? Okay, so that is a very subjective question. Reason being, just clearing CA is a big deal, but you should acquire that knowledge also. So like I told you, the ICAI has taken up the consideration of having those practical assessment tests to improve the knowledge, the practical knowledge of the students. So that depends on your mindset, your intelligence, or your knowledge per se. But on an average, a CA will earn 8 lakhs. So this is the data which is released by ICAI, and this is what they will complete, they will tell. Then, can we actually complete foundation syllabus in 4 months? Yes, you can. See, just depends upon your willpower. You can do anything. See, a human mind can do anything. See, whenever I used to study, there's only one thing I used to think of. What I am studying, that has been made by a human, right? He's a human. So if he can make it, why can't I just read what he made? You get it? So he's a human who made it. I'm a human who's studying it. So it's going to be really, it depends upon you. If you are determined, I'm telling you, sky is the limit. There's no stopping you if you are very determined to achieve your goals. Okay? Then, is handwriting a matter in exams? So, well, my handwriting, if you see, it was bad. I mean, just let me show you. It's not as that bad. Okay, so it's not this bad in general when I write in paper pen. So it is required so that a student can, rather the examiner can actually understand what you are writing. So it is required, good handwriting is required. Handwriting like pearls, beautiful, with color pen people write, and this what they write with such big letters and underlines, and then this all this jigna and all, they put glitter and all. That much is not required. Your answer should be correct. Your handwriting should be legible. Let me put it in that form. Your handwriting should be legible. There's one more question which has been asked. Foundation route or direct entry route is effective? I think I already answered this twice. It is a personal decision. If you want to get my opinion, okay, if you want to get my opinion, I would suggest a foundation route. But then this opinion can matter from change from person to person. So it is your wills and wishes that you have to do. How many hours of study is required when child is doing along with 12th? So that depends. We have, like us, the institution have different batches. So the batch timings are for 2.5 hours. If in a day he studies for 2.5 hours and he revises that 1 hour, so in a day if he studies for 3.5 hours, he can get good marks, really good marks in his exam, right? I can guarantee he can get really good marks. Okay, so for that we have constructed our batches in that way. So those are of different timings, and a student get enrolled in the timing which they want, and they can sit at their home, at the comfort of their home, and they can look at the lectures, high quality content. Along with that, we will even have a mentor who will keep a check. Okay, so there's one more thing. Can a CA get a government job? That being the reason, yes, a CA can easily get a government job. I mean, there are placements per se. There are placements that are conducted by ICAI, where IOCL or Indian Oil Corporation comes for interviews. So yes, he can get government jobs. And then, so why does a CA, that is a question which is asked subsequently, why does a CA fail examinations? See, that's where they lack determination. The syllabus is not hard, let me tell you, it's vast. Since the syllabus is vast, a student, they get demotivated. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. I really can't do it. But just think, people who have been in the board of studies, who are designing the curriculum, they would have put a lot of thought in designing the curriculum. Since they think it's possible, they are putting it in. No. Since they think it's possible for you to achieve, for a normal human being to achieve, they are putting that vast curriculum in, right? So that being the reason, it's okay. There's no harm and there is no foul. Be determined, be motivated, and you will surely clear. See, let me come out of this Veranda Excel representative. First, I want to talk to you as a chartered accountant, because I owe it to you people. You are the future. We are the present. Tomorrow we are going to be the past, but you will be the future. You guys are very lucky. When I was doing my CA, such a comprehensive program was not available. I had to learn from my mistakes. I had to see what should be done, how it should be done, how the planning should be done. My time went in planning. And see, planning in CA is very necessary. Okay, it's not hard work you have to do. It's smart work which you have to do here. So planning in CA is very necessary. So not every person will be that good in making plans. So at that point of time, this is why I feel you are lucky, because you have this program for you. They do everything for you. All you have to do is follow it. Whereas when I was doing CA, nothing like that was present. Whatever we have to do, watch the classes, that's it. That's why then after what classes, it's our responsibility to do it. So as a chartered accountant, I personally feel you are very lucky. Then there is one more thing, how CA is different from CS and ICWA. See, CS is particularly related with law. CA is not particularly related with law. It is related with accounts, as a concept which you would have heard, taxation, and then a bit of costing as well. Whereas CS is particularly related with law. So this is the difference between a CA and a CS. CA and ICWA, CA as a general, if you see, CA covers everything. It wants its candidates to be specialized in everything. ICWA, it focuses on costing a bit more than CA. See, if you go as far as the content is related, the content in CMA and the content in CA are more or less the same. The only difference is the complexity. CMA content for things like accounts, taxation is not that complex, is what we know, and CAs is that complex, but costing in CMA is really complex, which is not to that great extent in CA. So that is the only difference between a CA and a CS, and a CA and a CMA. So can we get marks for neat presentation made? No, this is not school. Unfortunately, they won't. If you write with in school days, I remember that's what they will ask, all these kind of they will decorate the paper like anything, and I've seen my friends do it. And then student, there's Apsara pencil. I got 105 out of 100. That is not the case with CA. So unfortunately, I'm sorry, they will focus more on the content and they will focus less on the handwriting part. Will everyone will be able to do CA? Yes, everyone can. Everyone, dude. If I did know, anyone can. It's not everyone. Anyone can do it. Seriously, like I told you, I'm an average student. What I focused on, determination. I was determined to become a CA, and I will see. This is me personally telling you. Okay, so all you need is determination. If you are determined to achieve something, no, there's no power on this earth that can stop you. Okay, so I think that way we wrap it. Before we close the live session, there's one thing I would like to tell. Make your first attempt your last attempt with Veranda Excel. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon to get regular updates, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.